Hi, this is Lee Solden. I am teaching you some Norwegian. This will be the sixth one in the series. Please watch the first five. I try to cover things, uh, but not twice. Okay, so you should listen to the first five before this one, right? If you don't know how to get to the other ones, click on it's like a pinkish circle with an A on it. That's my logo. Hit that logo and you go into my channel page, click videos, and then choose Norwegian 1 to start, then Norwegian 2, 3, 4, 5, and then come back and listen to this one, okay? Um, okay, I'm teaching a video found on YouTube. It's nothing that I'm associated with. It's 20 minutes of Norwegian listening practice by Norwegian Pod 101. Um, so here goes the lesson. We're going to start at story 15, which is 15 minutes and 57 seconds on the video. Nothing new in the first sentence. And man and kvin snak here. A man and a woman are talking. So on to sentence 2. Hva spiste kvinnen denne morgenen? Okay, hva is what? Spiste, ate. Kvinnen, the woman. Denne, this. Morning. Now it's Morgen. Okay, Morgan, Morgen, Morgen is morning. Add the en, it's the morning. Okay, but doesn't mean this morning. It means morning. Why is the en there? Well, it says dena this morning. So it is a specific morning. So since it is a specific morning, you have to put the en there for grammar. Okay, not just any old morning. Any old morning there would not be the en there, but this morning specified a particular morning. Okay, and go over the uh, conjugation of spisa, spisa to eat, spiser, present tense, spis. Just drop the e from spisa, get the command form spis. Spista is the past. So yeah, this ends up with a te ending. So the group 2, har spist, drop the e from the spista, get spist, har spist, have eaten, hava spist, had eaten, and villa spisa, would eat. And that can also be villa spist. So you can use for would eat, you can either use the past participle or the infinitive. And I won't mention it every time. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got a note here. She pronounces it, or they pronounce it, uh, morning in this particular. The way you pronounce morning or the morning varies. It's a regional variance on how it's pronounced, depending on where you are in Norway. Okay, okay. Dena is singular, common for this. Detta is the neuter form, and disa, D-I-S-S-E, disa is for all plurals, which pretty much matches German, by the way, for disa. Um, Pretty close, same pronunciation. Slight variance between the German disa and this disa. Um, Okay. When you have a demonstrative, this, you have to use the correct ending. Okay. What is a demonstrative? This and that. Okay. Um, this, that, or these, or those. That goes then, den, day, det, and d for plural. Okay. That would be those, d. Okay. And I just mentioned the dena, detta, and disa for the this. Okay, sentence 3, 1603. Jij are sultan. I am hungry. Okay, so jij I are am sultan, hungry. Um, okay, and I'll get to a lecture on. There's an adjective here. I'm going to skip talking about it. I have a lecture on it later. So we'll go to the next sentence. Okay. So sentence 4 at 1606. Spista du frukost. Spistas ate, do you frukost, breakfast. Okay. If you look at German, früh means early, and kost means food, diet, or room in Norwegian. So this is not considered a compound word in this language. It's a two-syllable word. But if you know German, you'll kind of think of it as a compound word because you know the FRO, früh, means early. FRUH in that language. Okay. Oh, I'm going to stop for a second and go over some mistakes I made in pronunciation, or maybe I wasn't clear about some stuff. Um, Story 12, TRO is not tro, it's true. Okay. The O is usually a double O. Okay. And TOK is took. It's also talking about I think story 13 had that took in it. Now it's story 12. TOK is took. But in story 11, KOM is comb, short O sound. Okay. So you got to learn these somewhat one by one. Um, so whereas KOM is calm, TOK is took, and TRO is true for believe, and took is took. Um, Also, story 13 at the 1359 mark had Sien, SIDEN. The D is silent there. It's Sien. 1349. I said it correctly. I said Ohm. It's a OM. The O there is pronounced as a short O, Ohm. Okay. I said maybe it's No, it's Ohm. Okay. In German, it's Same word. In German. But anyway, this language is its own with a short O. Um, I got the pronunciation of TVERS, which does mean across, correct in story 13. This is Tavash. Sorry, Tavash. Tavash is softer sh. Um, you see here, Yora is how you pronounce did. Gjorde is Yora. The D is silent. Um, okay, and I mispronounced maltied. I said malty. I didn't pronounce the D, but it's one time you do pronounce the D in the word time, T-I-D. It is teed, not tea. So meal is maltied. Um, and one more. Little minor mistake here. With the word desserts, it's air. Air. I said ear. Nope. It's air. Um, T is silent there. That's on story 12 at about 12:56. Made that mistake. Okay, back to this story. Going on to sentence 5. Ja, yes, they, that, Yora, did, yai, I, men, but, yai, I, spista, ate, bara, just, lit, a little. Yes, I did, but I only had a little. Ja, de, Yora, yai, men, yai, spista, bara, lit. Okay? And you might notice I'm not trying to say this fast and smoothly. I'm trying to enunciate things for a brand new student to understand what I'm saying word by word. I'm not trying to talk like a Norwegian, say it like really quick. So don't think that the way I'm saying it is the right way. Always listen to the audiobook that I'm teaching you extensively. It should be looping in the background as passive listening. You should be doing read throughs from it. Uh, Look at my Norwegian 1 for that, how my system goes. But your ear has to be on the audiobook you're learning. Don't go by what I'm saying for anything on pronunciation. It's more important to listen to what they're saying. Okay. So we're going on to sentence 6. So he asks, "Va hade du till frukost da?" Okay, what did you eat? Okay, that's what they say in the English, but he actually says, "What had you for breakfast then?" Van is what? It's HVA. The H is silent. Had. Do. You. Till means four in this case. Usually means two, but here it means four. Frukost, breakfast. Da, then. Okay. Um, and next sentence. Okay. I note first, da can also mean as or because. Sentence 7. She says, "Jij had and yogurt, and cafe." So I had and a yogurt. They pretty much say it just like we say yogurt. and silent G and a cafe, coffee. Okay, a lot of food. Okay. Well, I don't eat breakfast, so it's more than me. Okay, next. Okay, says they are for Lita. Okay, they that are ER that is for means TOO as in too much. Lita, little. So that is too little. Now, the word for usually means for, FOR in English, in the same word. Um, but it can also mean to, and sometimes means of. But most likely, if you see it, it means either for or to. Okay, that is too little. Do you bird? Um, excuse me. Okay. Also, you so do you bird should also spisa eat bread. They don't pronounce the D. Um, aw and fruit, fruit. Okay. Um, okay. I'm going to give this lecture on how to say little. It's one of the most complicated little things in Norwegian to learn when you say little. But if you kind of piecemeal it, think of it one thing at a time, it's not so bad, right? So start out with lit means a little and has nothing to do with the word little otherwise. Okay. Now the simplest thing, whenever you want to say little, if you're talking about more than one object, use small. SMA with a circle, right? Small. And we have the word small in English, right? So you equate small with small. So you buy, so anyway, if you want to say little, if it's a plural, you're modifying a plural noun, use small. That's doesn't matter what the gender is, just small. Doesn't matter what circumstances, et cetera, et cetera. If it's plural, it's small. Okay. Next, for all singular definite nouns, use lilla. Lilla. Now, finally, you have little for singular indefinite nouns. Here you need to choose by gender. Okay. Um, so what is back up a little bit? Definite noun means you had to use a the, right? Or maybe a this. Still be still would be definite. Um, that's always gonna be lilla for singular definite nouns. Now, for little for singular indefinite nouns, we're using a man or a chair. It's not any specific chair or any specific man for indefinite. Now you got to choose by gender. Litten, Liten, litten for common. And that's what they consider the base word. Okay, litten, Liten. Okay. Litta for feminine and litta, Lite, litta for neuter. Okay. So just listen to this occasionally. Again, don't try to memorize it all right now. Just loop it and pay attention here and there. You'll get it. Okay, here's the link where they let you test your knowledge on this and give you the answer. this little link in there. You can go again. All my notes are put in Norwegian 1. Get there, click on the my logo, which is the pinkish circle with an A on it, and click on Norwegian 1. Look in the comments. All this stuff is written up. Okay, moving on. And that's it for this story. Pause for a minute. Okay, story 16 at 1653. And kvin a varehus. A woman is in a department store. Okay, and the department store is the same word as warehouse. Vara means where. Okay, or goods. Hus is house. Hus is a neuter word, so you have that gives you what the gender is, the last word, varahus. So a varahus, a varahus. Okay, and next sentence. Uh, First of all, vara can be a commodity, a product, also. Uh, and vara is a common noun, but doesn't matter here because it's the first word in a compound word. But I like to tell you the gender and stuff as I go because every time you see something, you hear the gender, eventually it'll sink in, right? I don't believe in memorizing stuff to too much extent. Just keep learning more uh, Norwegian and just keep noticing what gender everything is as you come across it. Okay. Also, a lot of times the grammar tells you what the gender something is, so you keep track of the grammar bit, and that'll also help you understand what gender something is. For instance, right here, Vilken etage. Okay, Vilken has an en on the end of it. Well, that which with the en means it's modifying a common noun. So you know etage must be common. Etage means floor. Which floor? Vilken etage skal hun till? Skal, shall, hun, her, till. Okay. Here's another case where a participle is modifying a verb. Skal means shall, but skal till means go. Okay. Where will she go? Skal till. Okay. Hun is her. Um, okay. And I got to notice here, etage means floor in French. So pretty much obviously a borrowed word once upon a time, etage from etage. Of course, in French, you can say etage too. It's fine to pronounce it that way. They're pretty much an exact match. Um, okay. So again, etage is, is common because it's modified by Vilken instead of Vilka, the ET. Nope, it's Vilken. So you know that etage must be common. Sentence 3 is at 17 minutes. Unnskyld meg, excuse me. Hvor er barneklær? Where are baby clothes? Okay. Um, my is me, excuse me. Unnskyld meg. Vor, H is silent there. Where are, ER, barneklær? barna, that's from okay, barn is the word child or children. It's both. Um, Klar is clothing. We're not going into why they have that e between the two words. Don't need to get that. Not yet. Just know that barn means children and klar is clothing. Theoretically, this should be pronounced maybe Claire, Claire. Trying to make an A as dad in there, but it sounds like Claire to me. Okay, let me see here. No. Okay, and unshield, you got a SK before a Y, so it becomes an SH, and it's the harder SH. So unshield, and the D on the end there is not pronounced. Um, okay, so barn is neuter, and klar means clothing. Okay, so you're not gonna see it in the plural. Just okay, klar. Um, Next sentence. Okay, this speaker in this following sentence skips the word "ah" altogether. He says they are on the fifth, sixth floors or floor. Okay. Um, D, that means that's they. Okay. Uh, D is also the plural the. Um, as long also it means those. The plural for den and day. D. But regardless of what it means in a particular sentence, it's always pronounced D. D-E-E, like D. It's spelled D-E. Okay. They are, means are in this case. E, it means in or at. Femta, fifth. Fem is five. So put a te on the end. Femta, fifth. Ah, but he doesn't say ah even. He just says fifth. And then he says um, sixth. Sheta. Okay. Um, the SJ is a SH sound, and it's the harder one, sheta. Etage, floor. And okay, so he's using singular etage here, apparently. There's no ER on the end of it. Okay. Um, I can't explain that, why he's skipping the ah. So he's saying D-R-E, femta, sheta, etage. They are on fifth, sixth floor. Next sentence. Okay. How do baby Claire also? Do you have baby clothes also? Let's see here. The G is silent in also. Um, Baby is a common noun, which again you don't need to know, but always good to take note of any time if you keep going through this. Every time you see a noun, look at the gender. It'll sink in eventually, right? Next. Okay, so sentence 6, 1707. Yeah, yes, we are, have, massa is much, um, baby klar, baby clothes, in, sjette etage, sjette, sixth etage, floor. Okay, massa can mean a lot, much, multitude, bulk, substance, mass, lump, and crowd. Massa. So we have massa, a lot, baby klar, clothes, etc. Okay. Um, she says, Tusen tak. That means many thanks. Tusen is 1,000. Tak is thanks. Um, sometimes uses please. Tak is okay. Jeg vil gå og se der. I will go see there. I will go look there. Say can be say see or look. So I will go and say look dar dar. Okay, but you get go say again means go see. I will go see there. Doesn't mean she's going to be going very far. I mean, she's going to walk over the elevator and go up there, right? She's not taking a car or anything. So it's not necessarily literally going anywhere. She's just saying, I will go look. Um, next sentence. There's the next sentence in the story, actually. So I'll pause this and set up for the next story. Okay, story 17, 1748. Nothing new in the first sentence, and man and kvin snakker, a man and a woman talking. Um, next sentence, sentence 2, 1751. How old is the man now? Vor gamel are mannen na. Vor means how, usually means where, but phrases like how old, how how new, how whatever. Um, so if you're asking how to do something, that's a different word. But phrases like how many, how much, how old, here you use vor, which otherwise means where. Okay. So vor gamel, how old, are, er, this language, but are in English. Okay. Vor gamel are, how old are, mannen, the man, na, now. Okay. Next. Okay. 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 Bushdagen den are virkelig snart. Okay. Bushdagen means birthday. The word birth is in this language does not look like bush, B-U-R-S at all. But if you look at the root of it, it does come from the word birth from another associated Germanic language. Okay. So you can think of it as birthday. It is English. Looks kind of like birth, bush, B-U-R-S. Okay, the birthday din. So we don't say the birthday, your. So the en you think of just as grammar, okay? then your are is virk-i-lee, really, snart, soon. Okay. Um, uh, Bush dog is a shortening of bush dog, by the way, is longer version. Um, I got it's from Geburt in Frisian. Okay. Um, hmm. Okay. And I'll try. I might confuse you by saying this, but notice you have din modifying the subject. Okay. And you might get confused because I told you that sin, or sina, see, or sit can't be used to modify a subject. But here we got din modifying a subject. Well, that's not a problem. It's only with his and her and their, those guys that have that, the see, sin. In those cases, for his, her, and their, you can't have any of those see, sin, sit, or sina modifying a subject. But din, your, there is no, there is nothing like a Hans or a Hennis or a Garrus. No, the only word they have for your is din or d, it, or Dina. Okay. But there's nothing else. So as long as you're not talking about his, her, or their, there's there's no problem whatsoever with using din or min, my, um, var, ar. Yeah, there's no restriction of using any of those on the subject. Okay, only for his, her, and their would such a restriction apply. Okay, and I got a link for the etymology site if you want to look up where um, beush comes from. Beush. Okay. Sentence 4, 757. Ja, den overmorn. Okay, yes, it is the day after tomorrow. Okay. Um, so overmorn means the day after tomorrow. Well, you think of, well, what comes, if you take tomorrow, morn, morgen, and you go over it, go to the next day, right? So overmorn means the day after tomorrow. Um, and he does not pronounce the G. He says overmorn. Um, but he does pronounce the E just before the end, morn. Sometimes you just hear morn, no E there, but yeah, usually you'll hear the E, some amount of an E. Um, okay, going on to sentence 5. She asks, Hvor gammel blir du? What age become you? Okay, so you, on your birthday, you're going to become a certain age, right? So using blir, bleh, become. Okay, again, bleh can also mean remain, besides become. Anyway, so vor, how, gammel, old, blir, become, do, you, and Sentence 6, 1801. Jeg blir 60 år gammel. Okay. And I didn't even look at my pronunciation to see if I can pronounce 60 correctly. Okay. It's sexta. Not sure if I said that right or not, but it's sexta. And so, jij blir 60 år gammel. Our year is neuter, so it's also single syllable, neuter nouns are their own plurals. So our means also years, as here. Jeg blir, I become, sexta, 60, our years, gammel, old. Going on to 1803, sentence 7, 1803. Gratulerer means congratulations. Laos, fire. And I'm just thinking about R better. Laos, fire. Gotta trill the R's, right? Laos, fire. La, let. Os, us. Fire. It's F-E-I, fi, r. Trailing E. Okay, fire, celebrate. Fire, to celebrate. Fire, present tense. Fire, command. Fire it, past tense. Har, fire it, oughta fire it. Villa, fire, or villa, fire it for the wood. Okay, that is is an R before the E. So you would think, according to the guide, that would be a type 2, a group 2 verb. But excuse me, you'd think it was you would think it was a group 2 verb, which is a TE ending, but nope, doesn't follow the guide. It is a group 1 with an ET ending. Okay, so the guide doesn't always work. La, let, it's considered a modal verb. You don't need a infinitive marker before the fire. Okay. Then 1806. He says, Tusen tak, many thanks. Jeg er veldig takknemlig. So I am, I am veldig, very, takknemlig, grateful. Why does takknemlig mean grateful? Well, if you look at the word from German, is nehmen, to take. Okay, so you can see, if you know German, you see where namely came from. This language, take is ta. Okay, makes sense. It's a little closer to English, right? Compared to German. So taking thanks, talk namely. But look at a Norwegian's point of view. It's just a word. grateful, talk namely. Um, and that is that for that story. So I'm going to pause it, go to the next one. Okay, we're on story 1848 on the video. We'll go over the conjugation of to see, which also means to look, say, to see, ser, say, for the command form, saw, the same as English, are set, how to set, and villicé, or villicet, for the wood form. Okay. En kvin ser på klar en boutique. A woman is looking at clothes in a shop. Boutique. Okay. Word by word. And a kvin woman ser looks pa at klar clothing in a boutique. And you know boutique is common because it had an N in front of it, en, not et. Excuse me. Next, sentence 2 is 1852. Va kommer hon till köpa? Okay. So, okay. To shop, köpa, to buy, excuse me, means to buy. Okay, but think of the word shop, right? When you go shopping, you're to buy something, right? The verb shop is shoppa, for to shop, actually. But if you're going to buy something, aren't you? You're shopping, right? And this shupa looks like shops, kind of, right? So it's not too hard to remember that shupa means buy. Okay, shupa, to buy. Shupir, shup, the command, shupta for the past tense, are shupt, how to shup, villa shupa, or villa shupta. Excuse me, it would be villa shupa or villa shup for would buy. Okay, and okay, va, what, Kolmer, Kolmer comes, hun, or hun, 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 her, till, to, just a infinitive marker, shupa, by. And okay, we've covered that enough on what Kolmer till means. Just plain, what is she going to buy? Okay. 1855. He says, de blå skjorta og de hvite skjorta. Jeg liker dem begge. The blue skirt and the white skirt, I like them both. De, the, neuter, det, blå, blue, skjorta, that's a shirt, shirt is a skirt and it's neuter. Okay. And de, the, vita, skjorta. I, liquor, like, them, bega, both. Okay, and what kind of notes here I got. Okay, I have a grammar lecture to do. I think I'll close out this video with this grammar lecture and finish up the rest of this story 18 later. Um, okay, adjectives. Words that describe nouns often get endings to match all of four things. One, the gender of the noun. Two, whether the noun is singular versus plural. Three, whether the noun is definite, like using the or a possessive or demonstrative, versus indefinite. Use a shirt, okay? And four, whether the adjective comes before or after the noun, okay? Before, like the white shirt. There's the adjective came before the noun, the white shirt. But what if I say the shirt is white? Now the adjective is coming after the noun, and it's going to make a difference of what you do in the endings depending on if it's before or after, along with the gender, the quantity, singular or plural, and whether it's definite and or indefinite. Okay. Now, then there are exceptions to the rules. I'll mention just one exception for now that is in this sentence. Um, let's see here. The rules call for an E to be put on blah here, but blah is an exception. This exception also applies to some other adjectives that end with a vowel. In other words, there are several adjectives that end with a vowel that do not get an E put on them, okay, when it's otherwise called for. I will go over the other exceptions later. That'll be the end of my last video, actually. For now, here are the three main rules. And I'm going to go over this lecture 3 times, okay, looking at from different angles. Here's my, I think is the simplest, because it only has 3 points this way. But anyway, here goes. The first lecture of 3, which you'll hear the other 2 some other day. Some other day, you'll hear the other 2. Okay, 1. In all cases, if the noun is plural, you add E to the adjective. Okay, you're describing something, it's plural, doesn't matter the gender, doesn't matter quantity, doesn't matter if it's before or after, just none of that matters. If it's plural, you're done thinking, put an E on the end of it. Okay, unless it's an exception, of course. So we're not talking about exceptions here. Okay, 2. Adjectives for common singular nouns get an E, but only if the noun is definite and only if the adjective comes before the noun. Okay, so it gets an E, but not if it comes after the noun. It has to come before the noun. I'll get an E there. Okay, if it's definite. Okay, so it's common and definite. And it's before the noun. You get an E there. Most of the time, you don't get an E for common nouns. If it's indefinite before, there's nothing there. If it's anything after the noun, there's no E there. So we'll only get the E in one case, before the noun, and if it's definite, for common singular nouns. What common plural nouns? Well, I already covered that. All plurals get an E. No other. Okay, now for singular common nouns, you get that E only in one case. It has to come before the noun, and the adjective can't be at the end of the sentence. Uh, that's the same thing, isn't it? Must be before, can't be at the end. Okay. But also has to be a definite noun, like it has a the or this or my attached to it, for instance, to make it a definite noun. Okay. I'm going to restate part two. You can use whichever sticks with you. Okay. Two, adjectives for common singular nouns never get an E except in one case, when the adjective is before a definite noun. Three, the adjectives for neuter singular nouns always get a T except in one case. If the noun is definite and the adjective comes before the noun, an E is added instead. Okay? Um, One thing I did not make clear in that little lecture is that it's going to be either an E or a T, never both, right? So you might add nothing. You might add a T, you might add an E, but you're never going to add both the E and the T, okay? Um, so in this one case, in this part three, why don't you get a T in the one case? Because the fact is definite, singular, overrides the T and you end up getting an E there in the one case. I'll read that part three again. Adjectives for neuter singular nouns always get a T except in one case. If that noun is definite and the adjective comes before the noun. Okay, they're getting E there. Okay, let's see, enough of that lecture for now. And I'm going to end the video there. We'll start at sentence 4 in the next video. Hey, if you like this kind of thing, remember to like. If you haven't watched my earlier videos on this is a Norwegian siks. Okay. Um, so if you haven't watched those, you want to watch 1 through 5, click on my logo. That's the pink circle with the A on it. Gets you to my channel page. Click videos, and then click on Norwegian 1. Watch that, then Norwegian 2. All my write-up notes are in the comments on Norwegian 1. Okay. Also, think about subscribing and tell other people about my videos if you think they're worth something to you, or might be worth something to them, I should say. Also, I teach and I'm learning at the same time for the most part, and different. I know various languages at different levels, but I'm studying altogether 19 of them, and I teach what I know as I learn it, right? Um, so I spread myself very thin. I don't recommend that anybody else try to learn 19 languages at once, but it's a long story. You, all that history of why I do this is all on videos in my channel page. Hey, everybody have a great day. Bye bye.